Welcome back to the recruitment industry's most informative podcast. This week on the pod, we've been to a farm, which was super exciting for simple humans like me and Andy. The guest that's come on today was supposed to originally come on a little while back and they texted me to cancel. When they did, they were like, obviously want to reschedule. How about we do it on the farm? To which I was like, count me in. So we packed up all our belongings, all our beards, and drove to an undisclosed location where we met a guy with a beard in a field with a shitload of sheep. And that guy is obviously Jeremy Snell. I say obviously, but some of you might have known that, I guess. Jeremy is a fantastic human being, and he was an absolute delight from start to finish on this pod. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but that guy is like unapologetically himself, and I love it. I just love his character. I love his approach. He is, I probably should say, a recruitment coach, the founder of Rookie to Recruitment, which are a business that, again, does what it says in the tin, really. Takes rookies in recruitment and trains them up to be consultants ready to go. In traditional gig at a rest fashion, we did go through his journey from like starting out as a recruitment consultant and how he ended up being where he is today, a man that wears Motorhead t-shirts with a beard sat in a field. So we did kind of go through that. But yeah, there's a lot of just like generic conversation. I think me and Andy got too distracted by the sheep. So there's a lot of chat around farmyards. There's a lot of chat around sheep, music. There's a quiz in there. I put together a quiz, which he seems to like. So I hope you enjoy it as well.
Your boss at recruitment and you're going alone. You've got your LinkedIn account and your mobile phone. You've got the candidates playing hard to get, whether they'll call you next week or a no, not yet. So much time of going to and fro.
Fun is an understatement. I'm excited.
Or salaries too low. Hours or searching and hours of stress. Come on, candidates, just gig it a rest.
You're always looking good, my friend. This is a high budget podcast, mate. You've joined this afternoon. Thank you for having us, mate.
Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.
I'm talking into this, yeah?
Yes.
Good oak.
You're close to the bat. Yeah.
Close to the bat.
Well, actually, like a little
bit of a gap.
Yeah.
Tongue's length.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? How are you going to talk? Just give me a little 1-2.
Hello? 1 2 1 1 1 2. Hello.
Yeah,
hi.
That's more than
Hi.
perfect. Yeah, you're
hi,
fine. You are fine. You've made a grown man very happy today, mate.
Good.
Yeah, a grown man. Andy's been excited for this.
Has he? Yeah, me too.
All day.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, this is wicked.
I think like
chilling in the shade, yeah?
Yeah, Andy's been like a little boy that's like excited to go to Disney. That's the way that describe it. If you could sell like little versions of your beard that he could wear like Mickey is.
Little Merkins.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. But how was last night?
Really good. Yeah, last night was good fun.
Yeah.
Curry club.
Nice.
40 odd people.
Was it?
Curry, no air conditioning, hot food. Yeah, it goes down well, doesn't it, when it's 28 degrees outside?
Was it? Did they all turn out?
Yeah.
40?
Yeah,
nice.
it was good. Yeah, full
house.
Plenty of beers.
You know,
standard.
Well done, your standard speech.
Thank you very much.
Good.
Yeah.
I've got an admission to make early doors.
Oh yeah, I know.
I've got a bad admission.
Oh, it didn't record.
No, it didn't.
hence why we've got backup camera today.
Brand new camera didn't work.
Do you know what? This is especially the brand new camera didn't work. I think. The sheep are interested, aren't they?
Yeah, the sheep really like the look of
this. If you could reply to that email for me, that'd be great. He's currently looking at my.
And when one comes over. Because they're sheep.
Because they're flock animals.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What have we got here? Oh, it's another MacBook. They could have eaten MacBook.
This is the first time we've ever been on a farm. This is the first time the pod's ever been on a farm.
Okay.
Oh, look.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Come on, darling. Come on, Pancake. Come here.
Is this one called Pancake?
Yeah, that's Pancake.
How do you know?
Hello, baby. Hello, baby. How are you?
For audio listeners only, the sheep has just approached and has come for a head scratch.
Pancake the sheep.
Yeah, if I'd have called her the wrong name, she wouldn't have come over.
Really?
Yeah.
How can you tell then that that's Pancake the sheep?
This is Pancake the sheep because she's got these dots just at the top of her neck.
Uh-huh.
She looks a bit scrawny around the neck. We called her Pancake because she never used to stand up, so she always looked pretty flat.
So there is method behind the madness.
Yeah. There's logic to every one of their names, including Colin.
How did Colin get his name?
Colin got named after a farrier.
A what?
A farrier, the people who put shoes on horses.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was called a farrier.
Yeah, farrier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does that get? Sorry, how does that get to Colin? Have I missed that?
Well, that was the name of the farrier.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought there was some kind of.
No.
I'm amazed. I'm just sat here and like the sheep's just walked through the middle of the podcast. I love it.
Yeah, and look, here comes Rocket.
He looks like he's got something about him.
The little one.
Yeah,
the
Rocket.
little one.
He looks like he's got some energy.
He's got attitude.
How long have you been here?
7 years.
Nice.
Yeah,
And what made you decide that you wanted to keep sheep?
You got time for the story?
Yeah, of course we have. We've come a long way today.
Well,
so
we
I'm
had
in
the
no
field
rush.
with nothing in it, and we had a farmer who obviously was next door to us, and they had a lot of sheep. And when a sheep lamb, sometimes it will reject the lamb. Other times it might have 3 and it can only feed 2.
Yep.
So those become bottle fed.
Right.
And most farmers don't like bottle feeding because it's a pain getting up in the night and making these formulas. And they become very attached to you. So rather than running away from you, they run towards you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So most farmers are like, nah. So he knocked on the door and said, "Do you want a sheep?" Gave us this lamb and a bottle. Wow. And my daughter loved it. And you can't just have one, right?
Yeah.
So we got another one. So we had 2. So that was Billy and that was Topo. And then 2 became 8, and then 8 became 14. And then when you're not watching, they start shagging, and then little ones turn up.
Wow.
And this year we had 12 lambs born.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you get up in the middle of the night and do that?
Yeah, well, we were kind of lucky. I was super lucky. Most of the lambs were born every time I was out.
Right.
So
Okay.
Kirsty would have to get involved.
Yeah.
But I lambed a couple. One lambing that was underneath the barn there. That's how I lost my wedding ring inside a sheep, trying to get a lamb out.
Right.
And my wedding ring slipped off, so it's up some sheep's chuff. One day it'll just drop out.
He'll just be in the field somewhere.
I had to go in and say to Kurt, I've lost my wedding ring up a
So did you notice at the time it had gone?
Well, no, it was kind of like looby.
Right.
So it just slipped off.
Yeah, and you realised straight away?
I didn't realise straight away, otherwise I'd have gone back in for it.
That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I was. I wondered if you'd pulled out and gone, oh, that's gone, and then decided that it was best to leave part ways with
maybe
it.
maybe an hour and a half later, I thought, something doesn't feel right. Something's missing. And I traced my steps back to the last time I saw it, and I remember seeing it as I was going in. That was the last time I saw it. I didn't go in with fingers displayed either. I wasn't that cruel.
Right, you go, there's a technique behind it, right? How do you learn a technique? Is it trial and error or?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not like a podcast to listen to. Or...
Well, there is now.
I'm looking forward to the SEO of this.
Well, our top SEO at the moment is throwing coin in arsehole, as I discovered yesterday.
Yesterday.
I put a post up yesterday, and I looked at our TikTok search query, what we come up for, hoping it would be something like free recruitment software, and the first search term was throwing coin in asshole.
Well, nice. Well, now it's going to be wedding ring and sheep's fanny. There's a trend here. You need to sort your guest list out.
Welcome back to the recruitment industry's most informative podcast as well, by the way.
Yeah. Best job in the world.
Very good.
So that's how I got into sheep.
Right.
Well, not into,
Yeah. Literally. But
oh, dear.
Then, so that was this year, was it? Or that was the very first sheepings?
What, the wedding ring incident?
Yeah.
It was last lambing season.
Right, okay. So you were a season pro at this point in time, and
yeah, we've gone through 3 lambing seasons.
Yeah.
And I I wouldn't say we're seasoned pros, but it gets less stressful.
Right. Okay.
It's still not nice, like sheep in distress, having to like help them land. Most of the time they'll just birth. If it gets stuck, like we had one this year that was the wrong way round, so I had to turn it around inside the sheep.
I was going to say, how do you know it's the wrong way round? I guess you feel it's...
Well, you can see its feet. Like he's trying to give birth, but because it's coming out backwards, every time it pushes to give birth, the lamb's just like...
It's a blockage.
Bending.
Yeah.
Because it's going the wrong way round.
Do you ever have to call a vet or anything, or would you?
Not for... We haven't done for the lambing, no.
Nice, yeah.
No. Yeah, we just get on with it.
Yeah.
By the time you've called the vet, it's probably going to be
too late.
Sorted over.
Yeah.
Too late or perfectly fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they'll still bill you for it.
Yeah. No, it must be. It must be a hard upkeep. And can you go away and leave them, or is it like?
Yeah, like I can go away and leave them like long weekend when the weather's like this.
Sure.
As long as they've got access to water, as long as they've got grass, they're out. They're only in here today so that you boys can have a little petting zoo.
Yeah, nice.
They're normally out on a bigger field, so. Yeah, but every day we've got to check on them.
Yeah.
Like in this weather, there's something called fly strike, so their fleece can get fly eggs in it and then maggots. So now we've got them in. We'll keep them in. We'll give them a spray, get them protected from that, and then back out on the field again.
And off they go.
Yeah,
well, I'm honoured. When you said come up and like, when you text me being like, do you fancy doing it on the field, I was like 100%.
No brainer.
Yeah. Bought camera especially for it, whipped ourselves up here.
The broken one, yeah?
And here we are. Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I felt so bad. I was like, I'll have a look at it yesterday because obviously I said to you, I'll record you because it's just like where you work for yourself. If I can give you some clips, it's, you're quite... You use social a lot, don't you, for LinkedIn? So I was like, I'll try and do you a favour. I'll try and record you. I'll also get a bit of practice in for me. And what I've discovered yesterday is when I like... You've got a screen on the back of it. And I was like, okay, I'll flip that away so that it doesn't distract people that are sat behind it.
Yeah.
Flicked it away and it's obviously turned it off. So I've got about the first 30 seconds.
Oh, okay, well, that's the good bit, wasn't it?
Yeah. It did go downhill from there.
Yeah.
So next time we do a team event, I'll come, I'll try again.
Yeah, good.
And we will...
Yeah, and I'll ask someone else to do it as well.
Well, what the other thing?
Just ask me. I'll do it behind him.
The other thing as well is I should have thought about where you were going to stand.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do that at all. I was like, I put it right in front of the slides. And then you were over here to the left. And the whole time I was thinking, knob, like he's going to be outside of the camera shot.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to be like standing in front of the projector, like you get light in your face or you get stuff on you. You've got to be to the side.
Yeah, and I've said this to you before, but you're very good at presenting. This is it's going to be a bit of a brown-nosed comment, but you're very good at, like, I think, engaging people. I think the way that you deliver I've said it before, but your tonality changes and your pitch changes and the volume changes and like everything. And I find it really interesting to sit and listen. So I thought, I thought yesterday was good.
I think actually sitting in a chair for 45 minutes to listen to one person talk can be pretty unappetizing. Do you know what I mean? Like the prospect of it. So trying to make it interesting because you don't pay attention to boring things, right? So it has to have some kind of way to keep people focused, and the average person's attention is only 11 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So every 11 minutes, do something that's changing the vibe and take it up, take it down.
Yeah.
Just so that everyone's like, whoa.
It brings them back in.
Yeah.
Is the story true about those 250 people as well? Oh, that was a good story.
The 250 people.
That started out, so you told us.
Yes. About the HR director.
Correct.
100%.
That's true story. How did you find out all the stats from that?
So because the consultant who won the business, who turned up for the meeting, I was coaching him at the time on business development. He just started to share, because I saw the update from the person. I dropped him a DM saying, "Have you seen this?" And he replied back saying, "On it."
Yeah.
So he was working a process with it, and he just kept me up to date as it went through.
Sure.
And said, "Look, I turned up on the Friday. He said I wanted to be the last one because I knew that I could close.
Yeah.
If I was first, there would always be, I've got 2 more people to talk to.
Yeah.
Sure.
So he knew I'll go in last, then I can close it hard, go into the weekend, good bit of business. He said it just gobsmacked that 2 other people didn't show.
Yeah.
So yeah, 100%.
It's a very true story. So for context, for anyone that's obviously new to this story, it was about a post that was put on LinkedIn asking for recruitment support.
Yeah.
250 people first messaged. I think you said how many? 200 people commented on the post. How many did you say messaged?
Yeah, 200 people volunteered and said, I can do that for you.
Yeah.
Even though the request was, I'm looking for recommendations, everyone likes self-recommended, which kind of defeats the purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if anyone's watching this and you see someone post saying, can I have some recommendations for? The short route to market to go, pick me, isn't a recommendation, so it doesn't deliver on the request.
Sure.
You'd be better off messaging one of your clients to say, heads up, there's this thing. Could you either A, comment and say, I recommend
Such
Luke,
and such. Yeah, yeah.
or could you send them a DM and let me know that you've done it, and then I'll follow up with you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Deploy the brain and avoid the path of least resistance because it always leads to jack shit.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true, though.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true.
So these 200 people all went me. The person who had posted it received just over 20 direct messages of people saying, pick me because, like a little bit more intelligent and a bit more discreet.
Sure.
Rather than...
Mm-hmm.
And again, the guy who'd won the business told me because he kind of recounted it from her because she was as surprised, like, all these people wanted allegedly the business.
Yeah.
But didn't, you know? And of the 20 people who sent DMs, and then I think it was 4 people called. Actually picked up the phone and said, saw your thing, want to talk. 3 of them got booked for a meeting. Of the 3 people who booked the meetings, only one of them bothered to turn up. One bailed out and the other one just didn't show.
Yeah, it's mental.
That seems wild.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
If you think about how recruiters, like a lot of people at the moment say this, was this recent?
This would have been probably October.
Okay, so it's fairly recent because like there's a lot of recruiters out there at the moment that we obviously speak to that are hungry, that are struggling to find business, that like say it's tough out there, and then you hear a story like that and you go, you've gone from 200 people to 3 that have got a meeting to 1 of those showing up. That seems wild to me. That seems very crazy. But I thought that was good. So. And you're going to be speaking at the team conference already as well. Yeah. First guy booked in.
I know.
You must be honoured.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah, to get to talk at the conference is always good. Nice group of people. Fun. I like doing it.
Yeah. It was our first time this year.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it. You
really
enjoyed
good.
It, didn't you?
Really good event.
We'll definitely go again next year. Yeah. And like I said to you earlier, that network just seems to be picking up momentum at the moment.
Yeah.
Like everything that Andy seems to push online seems to be moving in the right direction. We're new to it, right? So we've only experienced it most recently.
Yeah, those stats on new members are great.
Yeah, new members, and I can see it being so. Like how many people do you say we've recommended this year?
At least 10.
Yeah, so
it's more than that.
And they've all been kind of blown away by it, haven't they? All been like really positive things about it. So long way out, continue.
Quality.
Do you want to do my favourite part? Because I've been so excited.
Have you watched it?
Have you watched any of these?
Yeah.
Oh, you have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you might know what's coming now. But every guest that comes, give it a little gets a gift.
Look at that! I love the Giig wrapping paper.
Yeah, do you know what, mate? This is new Giig wrapping paper.
Is it?
Yeah, the last one had.
Do you want to recycle it? Do you need it back?
No. That's all yours. You're welcome to keep that. Do with it as you please. Okay. If you can try and open it and keep the mic fairly close to, so the audience can hear how excited you are.
Catch my reaction.
Yeah. Because we made this mistake with Kate O'Neill. Yeah. We took our microphone away, and then it's just awkward silence where...
it's kind of awkward opening something with one hand, too.
Yeah.
But I'm getting there. No, I'm good.
Okay.
No,
how do you feel about opening presents in front of people?
Yeah, it's nice.
You like it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, there's many things I enjoy doing in public.
And it's opening
Yeah,
presents.
opening
One of
presents
them.
is up there.
Nice.
And we'll come
And
back.
putting your
to-
hand
Hello.
up. Putting your
That
hand
and-
up. Sheep's.
Yeah. Yeah. There
Or is that a
too.
private thing?
Well,
There
the
we go.
sheep would prefer that it was private. Oh, mate, it's for you.
It did come.
Whoa, look at this! Hey? What the hell?
Yeah.
How cool's this?
I thought. Do you know what, mate? I was
Mate.
pumped about this. I'm
This
not
is
gonna lie to
mega.
you. Do you want me to help you get the bubble wrap?
Yeah,
off?
let me get the bubble wrap off.
Merry Gigmas, my friend.
Merry Gigmas indeed. Look at this, folks.
Look at this.
How cool's that? So,
Explain what it is.
yeah. So, anyone who is either partially sighted or just joining in on the audio only, it's a signed postcard of Motorhead. Motorhead, obviously, I don't need to tell people who they are. They're the world's greatest band to ever walk the earth. And unfortunately, Lemmy is now dead, but there is his signature. And yeah, look at that, with a little, what looks like it might be a gold CD that's alongside it.
Yeah.
Super chuffed, mate.
There you go, mate.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that.
Hope you enjoy it. Do you want me to put it safely, or are you happy? You want to sit and look at it? You can
Yeah,
keep
no,
it.
I'm gonna keep it here.
Yeah.
Like the sheep might want to have a look at it. They can do one. In fact, I'm gonna lean it there, just behind your gorgeous little gig sign.
Oh, there
So
you
I can
are.
keep looking at it.
When
How
I
cool is
found
that?
that,
Thank you very much for that.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure. That's a thank you for having us.
That's so skills.
You had
So
your
skills.
you had your Motorhead t-shirt on yesterday.
I did, yes.
Yeah, as we turned up.
I looked at him and I was like,
Yeah.
that's a good sign.
Yeah, the Motorhead t-shirt. I've got 5 of them.
Right. Okay.
Because I wear them so often.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it throws people off sometimes to see me doing what I do wearing a Motorhead t-shirt,
Yeah.
which wasn't really the intention. It was just, I don't know, at some point in my life, right, you would have seen me 2018, 2019, pre-COVID,
Yeah.
wearing a suit.
Mm.
Oh, actually.
Yeah, I probably haven't worn a tie since maybe like 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like a proper suit and
With
a
the
shirt.
beard. With the beard. Was
With
the beard a thing?
the beard was a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, the beard is probably a 2018 commencement.
Interesting.
Okay.
So like 2015, 2016, clean shaven suit.
I can't imagine. that.
Yeah, it's just fun,
Tie.
isn't it? It's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, I had a client comment on it. He said, "You used to turn up here in like a sharp blue suit, crisp linen shirt.
Yeah.
Now look at the fucking state of you."
You've gone from wearing a suit to handing sheep. It's like
Yeah.
it's a contrast.
Wearing a sheep.
Look, you're turning up in here with that beard and Metallica t-shirt on, but still like love training the guys. But mate, do you remember when you used to wear a suit? And yeah, but I think a lot of clients that I work with now, so many businesses where I would be there in a suit and they would be in a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't picture that world anymore.
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, really weird.
Mm.
I was talking to someone last night at the Curry Club, Nigel, and I asked him when was the last time he wore a tie. He can't remember the last time he wore a tie, but he said what he did at the weekend
Yeah.
was probably quite an old man thing to do, right? He was cleaning out his wardrobe.
I do stuff like that.
Do you? Okay.
Mm. I like descaler. I'm into descaler.
And he binned all his ties.
Right.
Got them all, chuck them in the bin, never
Yeah.
going to wear those
Yeah.
things again.
Yeah.
How cool. Yeah, I'm so
Fair.
glad
So-
that the tie is like,
Disappearing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So where did the love of music come from? I've got to dive into that.
Where did the love of music come from? I don't know. It's just always been something that's been around me.
Right.
I think there's certain things that end up in your DNA, right? That if you're exposed to them when you're young, you can't shake them off.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I think it's one of the best things that I've given to my kids is exposing them to music young, taking them to festivals.
Yeah. How young were you
Um,
taking them to festivals?
Age 4,
Right.
Yeah,
Which
nice.
ones?
Glasgow.
Nice.
Yeah, so Freya's, we're at Glastonbury next week. That'll be her 10th in a row.
Nice.
Wow.
She's 17.
Mm.
So the 26th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one she went to was 2013. So they have fallow years, and then there was COVID, where there was.
Yeah.
But we've done the last 10.
Nice.
I'm trying to think what year it was that I went. It's a long time ago now. Muse. It was Muse, Gorillaz. It was supposed to be U2, and I'm going to say Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
But Gorillaz were quite good. Their Gorillaz were on the Friday. Muse played the Saturday. I want to say it was 2015, but I could be wrong.
No, it wouldn't have been 2015.
Earlier than that.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. How old am I?
Probably 2012.
I was 18, 19, and I'm now 34, so I can't do the math on it quick enough.
Okay, 15 years ago, 2010.
Yeah, 2010. Okay. Yeah. So that sounds... But it was amazing.
Yeah.
I've never, ever got tickets again since. Not tried every year.
Okay.
But how have you managed to do it for 10 years in a row?
I've tried every year.
Yeah, but what, you think you build up point?
What?
No, but like...
Well, that's how you didn't get a ticket, right? I didn't get a ticket this year. Did you try? No.
This year I didn't try. But I've tried a lot of years since in the 15 and
try
never...
harder.
And go, how do you try harder, though? That's the... Because I don't think there is... Is it not just potluck?
Well, that's the rumour.
Right.
But I can't sleep at night if I think that it's potluck, so I imagine that there is a way to do it, and I follow that way.
Okay.
I don't know if it actually is helping, but I believe that it helps.
Well, it's done right. It's done all right for you. 10 years.
I do think when you go once, whoever's been once seems to be able to then keep going. It's like Glastonbury knows you've been. It's like now you've been.
Right? But when you were going for the tickets, they don't have like your registration number until you've got through, and then they might be able to go, nah, you've been too many times.
Yeah.
Or no, I'll come in, right? But we're always logged on, different IP addresses, different locations.
Yeah.
You're just trying to like
cover
spread
the bases. Yeah.
We're not all in the house doing it together. I'm at one coffee shop in a town that direction.
Oh, you're joking.
My daughter's in a coffee shop in that direction, so that we're in like proper different places.
Wow.
And then one in the house, one laptop, one wired internet connection, one iPad on 5G, one phone, 5G.
Wow, okay, so there's a system.
You got to turn up.
You got to turn up and have a network of people in different locations.
And there's me sat with 3 devices all on the same IP, all pushing go.
Do you have a little team talk before you all kind of head off?
Yeah, we have a little huddle.
Do you?
Yeah, all in.
Little Glastonbury huddle.
Put Coldplay on.
Right? Oh, nice.
Which track?
Yellow.
Oh,
okay,
nice.
Yeah, banger. Yeah,
so, someone a bit of Glastonbury.
Yeah.
Have a little huddle. Put 4 ciders in the fridge.
Right.
So that
celebratory ciders.
Right?
Love it.
And then just see you in 40 minutes. I'm off to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
who is one of you that typically gets through, or is it?
No, we've all managed to get through.
Right.
Different times. Like it feels like the burden gets passed from person to
Mate,
person.
I'd be so nervous if I was part of your clan and I knew there was like 4 ciders in the fridge waiting, and I get in, I'd be like, I'd put the wrong names in or something. Oh bloody hell! Barbara's coming.
Now we're finding out why you've only been once.
There's a load of random people that have got Glastonbury tickets just turn up and be like, oh bloody hell! Didn't even apply.
I'm in. No.
Oh, that happens. Gets
Beryl,
me every year.
We've got tickets again.
Get in, get so excited, and then get timed out.
Did what other festivals have you been to apart from Glasgow?
Latitude Festival.
Oh yeah, I could have guessed that.
Yeah.
All Points East. Yeah. Latitude. All Points East. One in Belgium called Rockwerchter.
Ooh.
Never heard of that.
First time we went there was 2014 because we didn't get tickets for Glastonbury.
Yeah.
But then there is a secret sale for Glastonbury tickets, which is 4 weeks before the event.
Right.
And then like a tiny amount of tickets get released, and we got.
You've just announced it to the world.
Yeah, I know.
We'll bleep
Ignore that, people. It's not true. But we managed to get tickets.
He said
4
something
weeks
about
before. Yeah, there's tickets inside a sheep.
4 weeks before Glasgow, your field is going to be full of people
up to their elbow.
He said they'd be here.
Someone would come home and go, I didn't get a ticket, but I found a ring.
So the secret sale, right?
Yeah.
We've worked out the day that takes place. So we go to the the site, and we got tickets. So we ended up going to Rockwerchter in Belgium. No, we went to Glastonbury. So we got the Glastonbury tickets. We went to Glastonbury. We did 5 days at Glastonbury, came back, and then 24 hours later we were back in the car to go to Belgium for another festival. And we came back from Belgium and we were back for 3 days, and we went to Latitude. So we ended up in a month, like 18 days in a tent.
And that's you and your kids and Kirsty. Like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. What's your favourite one?
Glasto.
Why?
The variety, just the sheer variety of what you can see.
Okay.
You go to a festival and you go, this is a big festival because there's like 3 stages. There's 100 stages at Glastonbury.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, and for people who've not been, like yesterday, people who were at the Curry Club, you talk about stuff. You know people who haven't been because the only question they ask you is, who are the headliners?
Right. Yeah.
I can't remember. Why'd you get a ticket? Well, why would I go? You know what I mean? Like it's the undercard that I really like, and the undercard to the undercard. Being able to go into a little tent and there's 6 of you. To see a 3-piece band which has been together for 2 weeks. And they fumble their way through, and it's just like it's just nice, right? Yeah. Live music is brilliant. Live music's really inspiring, and I'd much rather be in one of those little tents seeing that band than I would 10,000 people back watching Dolly Parton mime her way through
9 to 5.
A 9 to 5. Yeah. Treating it like it is a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And that makes me sound a little bit snobby, but it's just stuff that's on the main stage is great, but the stuff that you just find that's a little bit more tucked away, it's quality.
Yeah, I second that because the year we went, I'm a Mumford & Sons fan, and this was as they were coming up, and they just did a little pop-up on the BBC introducing stage.
Yeah, wicked.
And we just happened to be there, and we were like here from the camera away.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
we saw them before the Sigh No More, their first album.
Yeah.
And
I saw them. 2015.
Motorhead.
Last gig he did in the UK before he died.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Glasto.
Oh, it was Glasto.
Yeah.
What stage?
Pyramid.
Oh, it was on the main. It was on the Pyramid. Okay.
Yeah, see, that was worth going to.
Yeah.
We got down the front for that.
Did you?
Yeah. I've got a picture on my phone, which is from the Motorhead website, which is they'd taken one of their official pictures of Lemmy, and Lemmy's there singing into his microphone, and just behind is me and my flag.
Nice.
Have you got it? Can we put it on the
I don't know where my phone is. Yeah.
If you send it to me, I'll put that photo over the image for people to see. But yeah, no, I second it. And then we did it with Biffy Clyro as well. They were on the, can't remember what the stage is. It's where, do they still have the really like tall, it looks like a Helter Skelter type thing? Does that?
Yeah, the Ribbon Tower.
The Ribbon Tower, that's the one.
Yeah.
With the stage over by there.
Yeah, the park.
I was going to say park. On like a hill, right?
Yeah.
It's on a slopey bit.
Yeah.
And
the letters.
They appeared there doing a
nice.
Just like one of those random I can't think what they call it, like surprise guests or special guests.
Yeah.
And again, just happened to be there for that, and that was a special moment.
Yeah, mega.
The other things that kind of got me was like like you said, obviously you've got 100 different stages, but you've just got random fields where people do arts and crafts, and that blows my mind as well. Like there was one that was like sand sculpture field, and they were just making these incredible sand sculptures. And obviously you can walk around the festival any time, right? Like a lot of festivals, they usher you back to the campsite and they say, go there for the evening. Bedtime, yeah, off you go. Like sheep, they herd you off. And you can obviously just wander around all these fields to whatever hours in the morning. And
with your own booze.
With your own booze, yeah. You take your own booze in. And
go build a sandcastle.
Well, but yeah, and the sandcastles that are being built, they've just got little signs on them that say, please do not destroy. If you want to destroy, this is the time that we're going to knock them down on Sunday or the Sunday. And people don't touch it.
Yeah.
And most other festivals, you're like, that would be trashed.
Yeah.
Like Creamfields or whatever, like the geezer making the sandcastles would get like leathered.
Yeah. There's a stage called the Temple. Did you ever go to the Temple?
No, I don't think I did.
Quite dancey and stuff. But they used to have a tomato fight in there every Friday. Big barrows full of fresh tomatoes.
Yeah.
Just everyone lobbing tomatoes at each other while the dance music's playing.
You got a photo of that as well, by any chance?
No, I haven't. There'll be plenty online, but no.
Yeah. So that's what I want to get back to. I actually had for you, mate. I can't believe I forgot about this, but I had a quiz for you.
Okay.
I was going to. I wrote a music quiz for you. And the idea was going to be that you don't get your present unless you get your quiz. Yeah. But I've mucked that up. And then when we were talking about music.
There's a pattern here, isn't there?
Huh?
There's a pattern here.
Yeah, I know. It's bad. I don't want to get a reputation for that, but I find the notes on my phone. So what I've done with this quiz.
Deleted it.
My heart skipped a beat for a second. I worked so hard on that quiz. I've called it the Snell music quiz.
Okay.
And what I've done is I've taken song track names.
Yeah.
And I've replaced one of the words with your surname.
Okay.
And you have to give me the artist.
Artist.
I think it's going to be fairly easy for you.
Okay.
So the first one, if you want to give me the artist, is Snell's Bells.
AC/DC. Snell's Bells.
Do you know the original?
Yeah. Do I know it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell's Bells.
Hell's Bells by AC/DC, correct. Question number 2, which is quite funny, based on the sheep conversation, but a bat out of Snell.
A bat out of Snell. Oh, that's definitely Meatloaf, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Meatloaf. It also sounds like a weird magic trick.
Yeah, it does.
Like rabbit out of a hat. My brain was like, bat out of Snell. Like,
yeah. After a good curry.
Put it out your curry. Put it out of beard. This is one.
I did have a moth once stuck in my beard.
Oh, go on. Let's go there.
It was just stuck.
How long for?
Living, not stuck.
Right.
It could leave whenever it wanted, right? It wasn't prisoner.
You had a squatter?
Yeah, I had a squatter.
You had a squatter?
Big fucking squatter. Big squatter. So when it's winter, you can see that it would be dark here. Like dark.
Yeah.
And I got up really early to go and do some training in a place called Doncaster.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good couple of hours drive. And I always like to arrive early.
Yeah.
Because I worry about being late. So I tend to get to places. If I'm meant to be there at 9, I normally get there at 7:30.
Yeah.
Go and find somewhere to get coffee and hunker down and relax into arriving on time. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Rather than rattle my way to get there 5 minutes
like
before.
a bat out of Snell.
Yeah. I've learned that. Meatloaf gave me that, yeah. And it must have been one of the security lights on the house came on and maybe a moth went, oh, I'll have a bit of that.
Sure.
But it ended up going into my beard and I didn't know.
Yeah.
But when I got to Doncaster to do this training, there's 20 recruiters listening and writing things down, and then they all put their pens down, and some of them started to lean back and their eyes were getting big. And one of them just picked up his finger and went, "You've got a moth on your shoulder." And this moth had come out my beard and then sat on my shoulder, wiggling in its little feelers.
Yeah.
How big was it?
It was about 3
wow.
inches wide.
Oh, wow.
Big
How did you not notice that in your beard?
I don't know. Maybe I thought it was a chicken wing or something. Something I'd eaten. But it was there on my shoulder, and they all went, "Ooh." So when I looked at it like that, I reintroduced the beard to it, and it went, "Oh, I'll go back in." So it went back in, and then I couldn't find it, so I carried on.
Yeah,
and then 20 minutes later, it's back. And then come out the other side.
Please tell me when. Please tell me just went. Don't worry, it's just Alan.
It's Colin.
Don't mind Steve. He's fine.
Marty.
He's all right. He's all right. But it came out this side, so
it's like a magic trick.
Yeah, it was like a magic trick. But I picked it up and I popped it underneath the glass and put the glass on top of it. So I'll chuck it out the window. And then one of the consultants, she ran out screaming because she had a moth issue.
What are the chances?
I know
a moth issue.
What are the chances of the moth or the moth phobia?
The moth issue.
Yeah.
And it being so well behaved to walk out and then rock back in and then come back out again. It could have lived there for a while.
I'd love it if now a moth just crawled out.
Yeah.
A little moth just
it just suddenly came into my head.
That's brilliant, mate. No, I'm absolutely fine with it.
Bat out of Snell and moth out of
beard.
Moth out of beard,
Moth out of beard, yeah. I think this is my favourite. Snell's like Teen Spirit.
That is the original title, isn't it? That's what I've always sung.
Snell's like Teen Spirit. Snell Razor. This is going down. Oh, you might not get this one though.
Okay, good.
Snell me why?
Tell me why.
Yeah. But do you know who that's by?
It could be Boomtown Rats.
It's, the one I've got is Super Mode. I've gone for the dancey one. You know,
Okay.
Tell me why.
No, you lost me now.
Okay. That's why I thought you might not get that one. Number 6 is another classic, Highway to Snell.
Yes.
Fairly easy.
You went big on AC/DC.
No, there's 2 on AC/DC. That's all the AC/DC. This one, if you get the artist, I will be very impressed. All the good girls go to Snell. Do you know who that is?
I think I've got it on 12-inch.
No, you won't have it on 12-inch. I wouldn't have thought. I'd be surprised if you do.
No, I do not know.
Billie
who
Eilish.
Billie Eilish, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw her
so.
at Glastonbury.
Then I've gone for a festive one.
Uh-huh.
Jingle Snell Rock.
Jingle Snell Rock.
I thought sat in a field. That works in mid of the summer. I've only got 2 more, so I will go.
Okay.
Snell on Earth.
Yeah, Hell on Earth.
Hell on Earth, Iron Maiden, yeah. And this last one,
Yeah.
there isn't the song title. It's the opening line to the track.
Okay.
So the opening line to the track is, "You used to call me on my Snell phone."
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
He used to call.
You used to call me on my Snell
Yeah, I do
phone.
know who that is. I know that song. Go on.
Well, you bought tickets to see him.
Oh, Drake. Yeah. Toss pop. That was fun.
What? The quiz?
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You didn't answer many. I just felt like you laughed at me.
I was just laughing at.
I was funny.
I felt like you.
I enjoyed the reactions.
I think Snell's like Teen Spirit was my favourite reaction.
Yeah. Did you do that on the toilet?
No, do you know what, mate? I was this is the way that my brain works, right? So I was at home and I was working and had music on, and Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit came on, and my brain just went, Smells Like Teen Spirit. And I was just like, I can roll with this. Like, I was like, I texted him ages ago, didn't I? And I'm doing a quiz for Jeremy, replacing, So I'm glad that went down well. But I was going to say that post that you did on Drake made me really laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get? You did get tickets in the end?
Yeah.
Did you have to pay through the nose?
No,
you didn't. How did you sneak your way around?
Was
Was it coffee shop scenario again?
Someone commented. Quite a few people commented and said, "There's a site called Twickets."
Yeah.
So Twickets is resale without uplift.
Oh, really?
And they kept appearing and then disappearing. Like so obviously people had got alerts set up. So just catching them on there.
Yeah. Okay. And you managed to get. Are you going?
No, I'm not. No.
Who's going?
No. Freya and her mate.
Right. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Not Drake's biggest fan, but when I was scrolling through LinkedIn and I read the post and saw that you called him a tosspot, I was like, "That's brilliant." I commented on it saying, I can't remember what I said, but I've not heard the word tosspot in ages. That comment on your post got more views than most of my actual statuses get. So thank you for that. But I think you should start I think tosspot of the week. There's a lot of people that were liking the tosspot element.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I reckon tosspot of the week could be
a bit too frequent. Maybe tosspot of the month.
Tosspot of the month.
Yeah.
If I feature, I'll be very upset.
Get him in there.
But talking about
thinking about that camera issue yesterday.
Oh,
tosspot.
I have so many of those. Like I had one recently with, you've already spoken about it on the podcast, but we were trying to help someone fix his puncture on his bike, and he had disc brakes. And Andy was like, "We'll fix the puncture. You hold the bike because you can't get that wrong." And I was holding the bike, and I didn't realise that if you squeeze the disc brakes, the pads come together, and they don't. When there's no tyre in, they don't open up again. So these guys have fixed the tyre and they've come to put the tyre back on the bike. And the guy's like, "Oh, it's like," this guy that we'd met that day, he was like, "Oh, it's like somebody's squeezed my brakes." And he looked at me and was like, "Luke squeezed your brakes." And I was like, "Oh, no."
Just the one thing.
Man.
You can't mess that
So
up.
I have moments like that. But I would say on the whole, I'm fairly...
Yeah, we all do, right? It annoys me when things like that happen. Like I'll go to record a video, like recording a bit of training, and it might be like a 10-minute video.
Yeah.
And sometimes I haven't pressed record.
Right.
I hate having to record something again
Yeah,
I think I've already done.
You've already nailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel, now I'm repeating something and it's never going to be as good.
Yes.
Yeah, when it comes out organically.
It's so much better, yeah.
Yeah. Then when you're trying to, and I'm fighting to be like, where did I go? What did I say? How was it? I forgot the frame. I got my wireframe.
Yeah.
But the words, I never write scripts, you know.
Okay.
I'll write wireframes of
Yeah.
openings, lead, story, loop to open, learning point, loop to close. You know, it's just like
Yeah. I think that's probably the best.
Yeah, me too. But that means that if I record it, but I didn't record it, and I've got to do that again, I'm now beating myself up, thinking I'm never going to be as
organic and natural.
Yeah.
Do you know what I do?
Oh, God. I was going to say, how did you get into like training coaching?
How did I get into it? So I worked as a recruiter.
Where?
Like agency wise.
So
I worked for. I spent a long time working for a business called Hayes.
Oh yeah.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Who?
Boutique.
Oh, okay. Small bit.
Yeah.
Not big high street.
Yeah, they're in the solo group of team. Probably not on your radar yet.
Yeah.
So this is obviously pre-beard, Jeremy.
Yeah, pre-beard.
This is pre-beard, suited and booted.
Suited and booted.
In the city?
No, Midlands.
Okay.
Yeah,
Birmingham.
Yeah.
So you've always been up this way, have you? Like up in the Midlands in the
Half my life.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you originate from?
So I was born in Massachusetts.
Where did you originate from? Funny way to phrase it.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All posh.
Yeah. Where did you originate from?
See, I've got
I
it
missed
in
the
me.
answer. Sorry. What did
Yeah, so did
I
I.
can't remember. Tough spot. I originated from. I was born in America, in Massachusetts.
Were ya?
Boston, yeah.
That's
Wow.
cool. That's cool.
I didn't have a lot of control over it, did I?
No, of course.
No, it's just where my parents shagged.
Right. No, how were they hung around there for 9 months, obviously, after. It wasn't like shagged and
yeah.
instant birth.
Yeah, working.
They could have shagged here and moved to the US.
Yo, this is true too. I haven't actually investigated this.
Get back to me.
I'm going to do this. Yeah.
What a great conversation.
Yeah.
Mum?
And then from there moved to London and lived in London.
Oh, so you went from Massachusetts to London. What age was that? What age did you leave Massachusetts?
2.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Good
Fine.
times.
Was it nice over there?
Would you recommend?
A couple of nice bars just at the...
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. So, yeah.
So London was, for me, home.
Right.
Like school and that kind of thing. And then London to the Midlands.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because, I was saying to Andy earlier in the car, I don't know, like, I know you as obviously the coach, but I don't know where, like, I kind of knew a little bit about where Si was from, where Kate was from. I don't have a clue. I wouldn't have guessed Massachusetts either.
No, the accent didn't stick.
No, I wouldn't have guessed. So sorry.
Cry with an American accent.
Well, you could pull it off.
Probably.
I think the way that you are dressed and the hat, and I could see you sat on a porch on one of those, like,
with a gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
With a shotgun on one of those rocking chairs, like spitting tobacco.
And a
type
one-eyed
vibe.
dog.
Yes. And a moth.
Big moth. That would be my superpower. Mothman.
Yeah, I was going to say Mothman. Yeah. I was going to say, it's like an urban legend, like the Mothman from Massachusetts. Have you heard
Bitten
of
by a
the Mothman?
radioactive moth.
He's on the hunt for his wedding ring. We've got a whole origin story as well here.
Backstory.
But sorry, I've sidetracked you from walking into Hayes.
What were we talking about?
Hayes, you started.
I was working at Hayes, wasn't I?
Yeah.
In Birmingham.
Okay.
And I left there to go to a regional, smaller recruitment business that had big plans to
Okay.
grow and scale, and it was just like it had a journey to it, whereas Hayes was like a steady ship. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, you're a cog in a machine, right?
Yeah, and it was great. It was a nice place to work, but I didn't feel that it had as much buzz to feel like there's something to get your teeth into. So I went to this business called SF Group, in Nottingham.
Right.
And I actually started in Manchester as a regional manager. And they weren't particularly good at hiring, keeping and developing people.
Okay.
So I ended up becoming a training manager for them.
Right. Internally.
In Nottingham. And I ran this. Funny, I met with someone this week who works in a local agency here. He was on the boot camp 19 years ago with me.
Wow.
19
cool.
years, yeah, probably 19
wow.
years ago. He's now director of a recruitment agency near here. And he said he remembers like vividly what life was like in it. He said it was like being on The Apprentice, apart from you didn't know you were on The Apprentice.
Right. Okay.
Because we had a block of flats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the trainees would live together for 5 weeks in the block of flats, in duplex apartments.
So the company owned the flats?
Yeah.
And they just
renovated the flats, kitted them out.
This sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Duplex apartments, PlayStations, kitchens. 2 trainees would live together in each flat.
Wow.
So the trainees from Birmingham, Manchester, not even the ones from Nottingham, right? London, they'd all arrive, 16 of them, in the flats. And then over the course of the 5 weeks, I would take them through some paces in terms of here's some training, like a little bit of training in the morning.
Yeah.
There's a computer. Let's log on. Let's do the training. Let's turn it into some work. So everyone would have to do sales calls. Everyone had to do 100 sales calls a week.
Right.
Do the training, keep putting it into practice.
Yeah.
And then I'd be little headsets listening to stuff and giving feedback. And then every Friday, we do a little review. And there was an option for them to say, I'm tapping out.
Yep.
Or it was an option for me to tap out for them. And
So
go,
you were Alan Sugar?
Yeah, you're gone.
You were pointing the finger saying you're fired?
Yeah. Yeah, every Friday.
Jeez.
How many did you start with?
16.
Okay. And how many did you bin each week, or was it just dependent on?
The honest answer is all 16 coulda, shoulda, woulda. Never 16 at the end.
Right.
Right.
Normally 3 or 4.
Right.
Jeez.
And there was a conflict, right? It's not a good stat. There was a conflict between how the person who was doing the internal recruitment was incentivized, and then how I was incentivized. Like he had to fill the room.
Yes.
I had to get people to bill.
Right.
And some of the people who would join were definitely there to fill the room. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. He needed to hit his quota.
Yeah, he's got to hit his number.
Of 16 starting.
And I've got to hit my number.
What was your number?
Those two things didn't work. So they had to get back to the office and be present for like a date in the future as a biller, right? They need to start to contribute in month 4.
Okay.
So they would leave. They would leave what was called the development centre with a portfolio of clients that they'd started to develop.
Yeah.
Some candidates that they'd started to develop. Some of them would maybe have a job, some interviews, and then they could go to the office that they'd been intended for, and with a kickstart, but culturally, like the intensity of what I was doing, it was like it would be like being in a fish tank and then going to an office like in the ocean.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So it had looking back on it, a lot of flaws that were visible but kind of accepted at the same time inside that business.
Yeah.
So I did that for 2 years, and I would run 10 of those a year. So that was 50 weeks of just back to back.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Because of the goal of let's build something.
So that was just you constantly.
Yeah.
How did you make that move though to being a coach? Because I think that's interesting. When you were talking there, I was like, how do you've obviously got this program that you're running people through. Did anyone train you, or did you just pick that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't know where to start. Like if I was going to move into, say, coaching, I'd feel like I'd have to see a coach almost. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? And that's a weird, probably a weird question.
Like I think a lot of what I was doing was pretty much what I did as a manager.
Yeah.
So when I had a team,
right? Okay.
Like having a team of people, the coaching bit was kind of there because
you know,
it'd be like, let's go on a meeting, come with me, do some coaching on the way there, let's get in the right headspace, let's do the meeting, let's debrief, like all of that's coaching. Proper, like if you're a good manager, then that's what you do.
Sure.
The bit I had to learn was the training bit, which is, I don't know, like here's a slide, look at the slide, right? And I know I was fucking crap at it. and they had like awful slides that would have every word on the, just like bullet points and words and words.
Yeah.
And
information.
Look at the slide. I will read you the bullet points.
Yeah.
Always be closing. Write it in your book. Bullet point 2. Sometimes don't be closing. Write it in your book. And the directors of the business, they like log in and they just fuck around with the slides and just like add more words because people would had been like coming back from this training thing.
Yeah.
Oh, they haven't learnt this, right? Stick it in the slide.
Okay.
Never be closing, right? And then they'd just be like these. So when I got there, the person who'd been doing the training was also the internal recruiter.
Yeah.
And he was quite passive. So they just, these slides got. So he went to do the internal recruitment bit solely. I then did the coaching and the training bit. And I just I pretended that I used the slides. So they kept on like adding shit to it. And there was like 700 slides. I just did my own. And they'd often have just like a picture or a word.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Because like no one wants to. Why do I have to write from the slides to a book every single word? Just print me it. Give me it. It's just it's not how I thought it should be done. It's not that someone told me this is how you have to do it.
Yeah.
I just looked at it and thought, well, this is part of what's broken.
Sure.
This is why people are going out into the real world, because they've not actually done any thinking.
Yeah.
They've just copied shit.
Yeah.
Like bad shit.
Yeah.
And not thought about it.
Sure.
And then they were kind of beasted into this, do 100 sales calls. Like if you can survive that bit, good luck.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any coaching.
You're on your own.
Yeah. So I did that for a couple of years, and then I got approached about a job with a company called Spring, and Spring was 900 consultants, and they'd never had a sales trainer.
Wow.
They had 3 systems trainers, but no sales trainers. So I joined.
So just learn on the job, like drop straight in the ocean, off you go.
Yeah, completely.
Wow.
Report to the HR director. He was like, I don't know. It's like the onboarding.
The old dusty manual comes out.
And then it became, what do you think you should do? Well, no, I think I'll just go around the offices and have a poke around. Yeah, good idea. Keep me posted. So that's what I did. I was just off and about, and I was part of the HR team, but like everyone in HR stayed in the HR department, but I was like on the sales floors, talking to people and asking questions, and then from that started to put together an academy and just like initiatives that were intended for the people that I saw, rather than sit in a room and write some sales training and then go give it to them without knowing what they wanted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that business got bought by Adecco. That then became 3,500 consultants.
Wow.
And I didn't like what the business was becoming compared to what it had been.
Right.
It got bought by this large business, and very quickly the like bureaucracy, the politics, it's just bigger companies.
Yeah.
More rules that don't actually feel like they're there to help, and they often
just
end
red
up
tape
hindering.
Almost, yeah.
So I went a bit Pompeii on it.
Right.
Spat my Pret out. Bad enough.
Yeah.
So I just walked out, quit, and started a business.
So there was no plan. There was no plan to start the business. It was just like
only as I was in the lift.
right. Okay.
I was just
on the way down.
Fuck
Like,
you.
do this myself.
Yeah, I'm going to work with people who I want to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who actually want to get somewhere with this.
Yeah.
And if there's 3,500 people here and I don't feel I'm right for them, they're right for me, why am I putting up with this? If I started my own business, I can pick the customers.
Yeah.
And the customers can pick me. Like it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
But at least then it feels like there's an agreement.
Yeah.
This has got some purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I got home and I banged out some messages to people who I knew, and the following week I pitched for some business and got full for the next year.
Nice.
Wow. That's great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from that moment,
never look back. Would you ever go back?
No,
never know.
I think I'm unemployable.
I was going to ask you as well. I think you are.
Unemployable.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah, I think you are.
No, I thought you said, "Am I employable?" Digging myself. Well done.
You look a bit hot there, mate. You're right.
Yeah, this iced tea's dried up. I was going to say, how did you enjoy when you were the recruiter lifestyle?
The recruiter lifestyle?
Yeah, because you don't strike me as the stereotypical, like, you think of a recruiter and you probably think Essex boy.
Yeah.
On the beers all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you don't strike me as that kind of, I don't know, I could be wrong. But I just thought, I was going to ask, did you enjoy that kind of like
I'm
culture?
25 years older now, though, aren't I?
No, in my head, I imagine you like now.
Yeah.
This is Jeremy. Then. Yeah. That's all my brain can do.
Same as 2-year-old Jeremy.
A beard and a moth on his shoulder the whole time. Right, okay, so you basically
like 25 years ago.
You're different back then.
Yeah,
That's fair, that's a fair comment.
Yeah, I enjoyed the lifestyle that you've described. I don't think I would ever have been like a non-recruiter kind of profile person.
Right, okay.
Beers out, winners trips.
Yeah. You were in amongst all of that.
Earn some commission. Burn it.
Yeah.
Go again.
Yeah, fine. The recruiter life cycle.
Yeah.
And how many, like, now that you're doing what you're doing today, the other thing I was interested in is how many people have, like, do people stick with you for a long period of time? And I don't mean that could be taken in the wrong context, but like with your coaching, do you find that it's a constant thing with people, or do people come to you for 6 months and go away and then come back and 6 months? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It takes as long as it takes.
Okay.
I had a meeting last week to talk about some ideas and some plans, which was with the person who gave me my first gig when I started.
Okay.
Still work with the same business,
individual.
Same people, But that's not like a constant access thing.
Mm.
Do a bit of work, done. 6 months of work, 6 days of work. It's driven by the need.
Sure.
I don't feel that customers necessarily disappear. It's just what they want, when they want it.
Need it,
It comes and goes.
It does ebb and flow.
So it just needs a bit of patience.
Yeah. More than anything.
Yeah.
And did you find, you said earlier, this was something I was going to ask you earlier when you were talking about changing to the Motorhead t-shirt and changing from the suit to what you are to, like, the way that you approach it online today.
Yeah.
Was there a shift there at all? Like, did you find that your business changed when you changed in that sense, from a client's perspective or from a?
Probably.
Okay.
But it was all packaged in the shower of shit that was COVID.
Right. Okay.
Right. Like that in its own right was a proper hand grenade for everybody's businesses.
Yeah.
I remember. I know people can't see this, and if you're listening, you definitely can't see what I'm doing. But that hill there, right? You see those trees?
Yeah.
I remember standing at the bottom of those trees with my phone and a gimbal, 29th of March 2020, doing a LinkedIn video for the first time, right? And just saying, 2 weeks ago I was in Huddersfield. I was in Huddersfield, and the phone rang, and somebody cancelled the training in London because 6 consultants had gone skiing together and come back from Italy, and they've got some disease called COVID.
Yeah.
So it's probably better if you don't come into the office. And then the phone rang again, another client, London.
Yeah.
We're closing the office. Half the team have got, and just suddenly like all these phone calls, right?
Yeah.
And in the space of me being in Huddersfield, and then the directors of that business called me in and said, this is looking serious.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a plan. So we put together a COVID plan there and then.
Yeah.
On how they could navigate it, like on a fag packet.
Yep.
And they said, cheers for that. Don't come back. We're all going to be working from home.
Sure.
And yeah, in the next 24 hours, I had on the calendar maybe 170 days of training.
Wiped out.
Wow.
170 down to naught, like 250, 300 grand's worth of business just disappeared. And I, stood at that tree making that video saying, this is what's just happened. This is where I'm at. I need to come up with a plan. And if anyone is also feeling the same, maybe we should get together and talk about a plan.
Yeah.
And that's when everything changed. That's when it became very online. That's when you would see me on LinkedIn all of the time. Like LinkedIn was I'd always had a LinkedIn profile, but actually using LinkedIn as a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sat in the background.
Yeah. But then it had to become front and center. Everything became online, and I could see that this thing wasn't going to disappear quickly. Everyone else seemed to think like 2 weeks, everything will be back to normal.
I was in that space.
Yeah. But the numbers were just like my whole family are scientists, right? I did too much science at school and it messed with my head, I think. But just looking at it and going, no, everyone's like talking shit.
Yeah.
This is going to be big and this is going to last a long time.
Yeah.
So instead of doing something to cover myself for, like, people were going, a couple of weeks, everything will be back to normal.
Yeah.
No, it ain't. So I built a business that was intended to be online only.
Sure.
And those people who were doing the same thing as me, like delivering training, they didn't move quick enough. It might, if they're listening and watching this, right? I'm sorry if I'm 100% wrong.
Yeah.
But it like everyone was pausing.
Yeah.
And because everyone paused,
that opened up a gap.
It opened up a gap.
Yeah.
And Kirsty bought a URL, recruitinginlockdown.com.
Recruitinginlockdown.com.
Recruitinginlockdown.com. And we spent 72 hours smashing the hell out of that URL so that we could then launch it to recruiters to say, if you're looking for somewhere to do something better than moaning, we're going to figure out a way as to how we navigate this thing because it's going to last a long time.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we put that out there, and within 4 weeks we had over 1,000 members, paying members, when everyone else was doing stuff for free. And we got a bit of flack because we were
charging,
cheeky enough to ask for money.
Yeah. Was it expensive?
20 quid.
Right, okay, a month or one off or a month, okay.
It's 20 quid. But we knew if you put something in...
You had 1,000 people, did you say?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you put something in...
Fair play.
People turn up.
Yeah.
If you say, hey, this is free, they'll give it a poke.
Yeah.
We get that.
Yeah. If people give us a
people
poke.
poke us all the time.
Yeah.
And yes, anyway, so that, we did that and worked out a way to be able to make sure that what we did was designed for online rather than let's take what we did not online and roger it into online.
Yeah.
Because like an hour of an online video it probably feels like 7.
Sure.
So everything was like little bursts and
Yeah, nice.
That's how people digest content, though, right? It is how people digest content.
So I went on a right.
Yeah, no. The only reason I was asking is 'cause I think
there, didn't I? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no, you're fine. The way I was going with it was that I think that you're making that change. I would guess has been influential for your business, like going into being the motorhead beard guy with his chickens and his sheep.
Yeah.
It was what we were talking about yesterday, and they were saying that there's lots of people that offer your service, but what's different is you.
Yeah.
Right, and you've kind of played on that.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it's kind of working as well.
Yeah.
You know, like when we started this, we were like, we just want it to be us. We want it to be light-hearted. We want it to be easygoing. And some people may think they're a pair of twats, but there'll be hopefully enough people out there that go, actually, I like the honesty of it.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think has that just died on us? Stay there. I can plug it back in.
Is this going again?
Yeah, we're back.
You can,
Sorry. Do you know what?
We technically have both videos going anyway, but
I got so close to doing the whole thing without a cock up, and then right at the end,
there we go.
I've cocked it up. But we're back. We got the last little bit, mate. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for coming on. I hope you enjoy your present.
I love my present.
I hope you enjoy your quiz.
Yeah.
And we'll do it again sometime if you ever fancy it again.
I won't share that online until you tell me that you're ready to do your releasing of an episode.
You're absolutely welcome to if you'd like to.
Go, yeah.
If you would like to, mate, by all means, we are. If you actually like it, don't feel obliged.
I love it.
Don't feel obliged. Don't feel like, oh, fucking hell, I've now got to do a post on this because these boys.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I hope that you like it. There was a bit of thought that went into it. Got a special quiz, which I mucked up as well.
The quiz was good.
It was good until you got to come in and
pancake.
You coming in, pancake? You're going to kick it all over, aren't you?
Weird.
Oh, there's my ring.
Oh, that's the perfect ending. That's brilliant.
That was great fun.
You've got your LinkedIn account and your mobile phone. You've got the candidates playing hard to get. Whether they'll call you next week or a no, not yet. So much time of going to and fro. You got another offer or salary's too low. Hours or searching and hours of stress. Come on, candidates, just gig it a rest. Come on, candidates, just jig it a rest.